What is going on, YouTube? Today we are going to be doing a reaction to what it actually takes to create a 2500 horsepower Huracan Lamborghini. Chat. Let's get straight into this video, guys. Let's go. Little Hello Kitty wrap. Hey, that thing's nice. Fuck with the color. Okay, I fuck with it. I just don't fuck with the Hello Kitty. It would look tough if it was plain. With the splatters. Ooh, chat, that would look nice.
Alright, here we go. We're back. Happy Monday lesson. We got rain though. You know, we built that car originally 7 years ago. And it came back, always comes back for updates. Came back recently, we did the roll bar on it. Let me show you the roll bar. This got our latest roll bar, version 3. Made to tuck really up against all the plastics and moldings. We added an extra bar, so this bar could be used for GPS INS mounting, fire extinguishers, nitrous bottles, whatever you want. Why we separate it like that and not make it X, so it doesn't mess up the view in the rear view mirror, okay? So we did that. We then implemented, if you want to go on the passenger side, let me show you this cool shit. We implemented this keypad that then will be used now to control the maps. Unfortunately, with the Lambos and the R8s with the Motec, we could implement and use any button on the car that's communicated through the CAN system. However, Huracan only got one button, this M. So through this one...
Hold on, chat. Device 1, device 2, device 3 would be all circuited through one amp. That's
M button. We had to do the map selection, the flame map, rolling anti-lag, ethanol display, literally all those things off of one button using different switches. Now we have this where we can switch through this, the maps you see there. We can do ethanol display by pushing the button. Yeah, everything's off this switch panel.
You put the flame map on there too.
I'm going to. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. This vlog is gonna be a little bit about everything about the shop, a little bit in depth of the things we got going on.
We're gonna see some cool shit.
I'm excited to show you guys what we got going on with Shizzy's cars. I'm gonna start from the beginning. For you guys that don't know this car, I'm gonna literally break it all down from the beginning. What the car's got, why it's got what it's got, and why we're doing what we're doing. But I want to show you a little bit of a, you know, these we do a lot of these. We've done so many cars. We've been so fortunate throughout the last 10 years of building these that repetitive customers that come back for service or updates, etc. So this came back from Vegas to do the roll bar, the switch panel, and it's funny because one thing he made sure he'd tell me, he was like, send back my stock exhaust and air box. 7 years later, he wants me to send this back. Now what he's gonna do with that, I don't know. I can't even sell that shit if I wanted to. Nobody buys it. It's a rainy day, but it's a happy day at SHEEPEYRACE with me, Alexi, and my wild team.
Stupid ad. Yo, that Huracan is mean as fuck, chat. The pink and purple match the black, and I see what the white look is, but it's kind of tough. Ooh. I'm guessing they do mostly Lambos. Oh no, I lied. That's a medium.
This beauty's been waiting this day, and the day is here. Complete version 4 update coming. And I'm excited.
R8s?
Right here.
Child,
The cool thing with Shizzy is just like send it.
I think the last video we did,
should be cool.
bro, that matte black Audi R8 was tough as fuck. I want to see what this one looks like if he shows it.
Now I got a love for CO2 now, so CO2 it is.
So we wrap the car. I don't like this shit. Take it off and rewrap it.
When'd you get it wrapped?
Like 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
We just finished it. We're gonna go with the different car.
Oh my god, can y'all?
So what we did was we put the flame map on map 3. We put map selection on this first button. All right, then ethanol content, we hold that button.
Well, that shit was mean.
So that keypad is wired into the Motec, into the CAN system, CAN 1. So it communicates with that all through the CAN system, so we just gotta program it. Those buttons, you can use them for whatever you want. Momentary buttons, on-off buttons, cycle through buttons, such as count, like the first one. So let's go ahead and watch the first one. You push it through, you see the dash, it's counting. Show wherever I want to leave it. So that's, you know, these are all different power maps. So map 3, leave it there. Once it resets, we're good to go. Then we're driving, like, yo, let's see what our ethanol content is. We hit that button, it's like 7,900 RPM, which tells us it's 79%. If it would have landed at 5,400, it's 54% ethanol content. Then it's like, yo, we're rolling, let's do flame map. Boom.
Chad, do you
Cowboy
hear
has been
this?
officially pimped, baby. Cowboy is one of the most pickiest. They're all picky in their own way, but he's very meticulous. And he was like, I need this, I need that. Yeah, whatever, it's cool. We're just here to make dreams reality, right?
Oh shit! Is that what I think it is? It is. Is this a? Chat, what is this? Is that a drop top Lambo?
Well, we're ready. So the car sets. Look it over one more time. We have our transport chick picking up. By the way, if any of you guys want transport, you got a Alpha Performance Transport. Look them up. In the SoCal area, need a car all over SoCal, Vegas, Utah. But we're waiting for Alpha to pick up right now. It's a family business. They're gonna pick this car up. They're also gonna bring back our longtime friend, another longtime customer, Cody Pierce. With the badass R8. Drop a picture here, kid.
That is nice. The Performante, chat.
All right, we're gonna get into detail as far as what this build is exactly, what our goals were, and what our goals are now. I can tell you that in 16 years in business, I've met a handful of people that legitimately are about that life. Now, I can't tell you how many people use the words, I'm about that life. And when it comes down to it, when shit breaks, when something happens, you truly see, I hate to say this, their character. Not that the character is bad, but I truly feel that this caliber of build is not for everybody. The skin you must have is unbelievably thick. The pockets you gotta have, how deep they gotta go, pretty damn deep. These shops wanna tell you, 2,000 plus horsepower cars take service. They tell you can jump in a car and they last forever. They're a bunch of fucking bullshit. There's a lot of shit that goes on in this industry, the V10 industry, that people shops hide. I mean, a fucking lot. Manufacturers such as Datsun that have made shit throughout the last 10 years that, and their first years of producing baskets and clutches, literally they had a 100% fail rate. Ask me how I know. But again, that's probably a topic that
100%
but nonetheless, that's not what this topic's about today. These things fail. Parts break. Name of the game. This car was originally built for a gentleman named Paul back in 2019. It was a basic setup kit, Motec. Actually, I didn't even have Motec, I had Cyvex. And a clutch. Then this gentleman by the name of Shizzy purchased it and gave us a call. Said he bought this car, stayed to Sheepey car, and he wanted upgrades. This was in 2021, 2022. Well, since then it came back. First round we did Motec fuel system. It left. Then it came back for transmission build. Then it came back for a normal engine build, then turbo build, and it was just a huge domino effect. But at this particular point where this car is, it's got a Noonan billet block. It's got our entire 5.2 liter long block build. It's got a full PPG gear set, all gears, drop down. It's got a LSD diff, Boost Logic stubs, Boost Logic billet axles. It's got our version 3 billet intake manifold. It's got what we call DI delete, which means the car originally had DI injectors in the cylinder head. We took those out, we plugged them up, and then we moved the second set of injectors into the runners of the intake manifold, and it's got a set of 1050cc injectors in there. Then a set of 2600cc's on the top. On top of that, it's got a full Motec standalone kit. It's got a T1 Race Development dual 5LM brushless fuel pump kit with a BPC fuel pump controller. It's got a T1 Race all-wheel drive harness. It's got a full 1016 forged carbon kit on it. Forged line 18s front and back. This car does have 18s for the sole purpose of the kind of use that the vehicle is for. It does not have 17s on it yet. It's got precision next gen 8385 large frame sportsman turbos with titanium 4-inch exhaust, turbo smart wastegates, turbo smart blow valves, our big race coolers, and to top it off, it's got a plate system nitrous kit. And the interior, the beautiful thing about Performante is it's all Alcantara. You don't really have to add much. These motherfuckers are just balling out of the factory. Again, deep pocket versus non-deep pocket. What he did add is a twist having an aftermarket steering wheel that's forged carbon with the yellow accents. And then of course we added the Sheepey roll bar. And on top of that, the fire suppressors under it and the good old nitrous bottle in the back. If this car doesn't scream Fast and Furious vibes, I don't know what does. The truth is, the owner kind of matches it. Drop a picture of Shizzy here. Tell me that's not the modern Toretto. Huh? Anyways, most standard turbo cars use what's called a 3-port solenoid, a max solenoid, and a 4-port. Now, I've never been fond of the 4 ports. The resolution's too sensitive. So what we do is we use 2 3-ports, 1 per side. These V10 engines, the way they're tuned, is essentially 2 engines in one. We have 2 of every sensor. 2 map sensors, 2 T-map sensors, 2 temp sensors, 2 boost solenoids, 2 of everything. It's got 2 ECUs. We have 3-port boost solenoids, which we have an inlet, an outlet, and a way for it to breathe. How it works is the inlet will then get inlet manifold pressure, either the compressor housing or the intake manifold. In our situation here, we use it right off the compressor housing. It wires off the compressor housing, splits, goes into the solenoid, then the other line goes to the bottom of the wastegate. Okay, for wastegate, the bottom of the gate always has to use inlet manifold as reference, the starting point of the spring when to open and close. Inlet manifold pressure enters the solenoid. The solenoid then operates off of a hertz, so it pulses. And that pulse applies pressurized pulsed air on top of the wastegate to control the wastegate positioning, which would then equal to how much boost you want. The pros and cons. Pro is that you don't have to add much. The con is, the rule of thumb is 3 times the amount of spring pressure. So if you have a 7-pound spring, rule of thumb is you'll probably get 21 to 24 pounds of boost out of it. See where I'm going with this? Well, considering this car is a big power car, we have a 20-pound spring in this car. Theoretically, we should get 60 pounds of wastegate pressure. However, that's not the case. We fight what's called back pressure, altitude, DA, a lot of other variances that happen in real world racing. So what do? We add CO2. Now, CO2 has compressed air that comes out of a bottle, which is this guy. And we apply a manifold sensor on the wastegate, and then it applies pressure. That thing controls high side and low side. And the CO2 now is used to compress the wastegate to be able to get the desired boost level that you want versus using inlet manifold pressure. That is the pro to CO2. What we're gonna do to this car, because we need 70 pounds of boost. And how we're gonna get 70 pounds of boost is CO2. This CO2 kit is made by a company named Cody Phillips Racing out of Utah. This is his kit. Now, there's tons of kits out there. You go to summitracing.com, eBay, Amazon, I'm sure probably even sells it, but everyone has their own kit. Now, for you guys that do follow and watch the bottle in my truck, my kit's got to pretty basic. After seeing Cody Phillips Racing CO2 kit, definitely gonna put one of these in the truck. This kit, now, how it works is we have a regulation valve here. See this valve? Okay. So it's got 2 pressure sensors, 1 sensor that'll read bottle pressure, and then 1 sensor that'll read line pressure. So pressure inside the bottle, pressure that goes to the actual solenoids. Then from that, we have a line that goes from out the bottle to the distribution block for the CO2. That from the distribution block goes to the wastegates. This is a pressure sensor that sits on the wastegate to be able to tell us how much pressure the CO2 kit's actually giving, and therefore make the adjustments that we want. We're gonna walk over the wiring area and I will show you the distribution block. This is the wiring department that actually is one of my favorite departments that this guy is kind of overtaking. What he's doing now is beginning to wire the solenoids. So as I mentioned, there's gonna be a line that comes outside the CO2 bottle that goes straight into here. And from here, one line will Y out and go to the top of the wastegates. That then will apply the desired pressure that it needs to be able to target the boost that we want. So you have a high and a low. These are solenoids. So one will go up and one will go down, and it'll do what it needs to do to get the target that we're targeting in the ECU. So that's how it works. Alexi right now is wiring it all. These are just pulse width solenoids. So we'll have one position control one, second position control the other. On top of that, Alexi's got all kinds of other things we're gonna do to the car. But the sole purpose of this explanation is why we're doing CO2 on this car, how the CO2 works, and the product that we're using on the car. We're in his way, so let's go. The way it works, Motec, it has inputs and outputs. Motec's got different ECUs. They're not all the same. You have M142s, M182s, M150s. Now those numbers correlate to something. So the M150, I believe, has 8 inputs and outputs. Now what that means is it's able to inject up to 8 injectors. The M142's got 6 outputs, but the M140 series, M142 and 82s have direct injection drivers. These cars come with direct injectors, as we talked about, but there's only 6 per M142, so we have 2 of them. one per side. They also have spare outlet pressure readings, temperature readings, digital readings, half bridge readings, and we could wire in whatever we want, however we want. It's up to us. That's the beauty to Motec. Motec doesn't give you a box that says, these are the outputs that you have, go fuck yourself, figure it out. Motec gives you an ECU with all the outputs and inputs, and you wire it however your heart desires. Every shop's got their own way of wiring things and their strategy. So this list, essentially, my chicken scratch, is telling Alexi where I want things wired. A5, which is equivalent to AV17, it's going to be the 7-bar sensor. AV16, which is A4, 2000 PSI sensor. The 2000 PSI sensor is going to be that one, so it reads the pressure at the bottle. The 300 PSI is going to be post, which is that sensor, which reads the pressure between the bottle and the distribution block. Then the 7-bar map sensor is going to be the sensor that sits on top of the wastegate hat. So what this is telling Alexi is the position that it's on the connector, the inputs on the ECU, and what he's wiring to it. That's all he needs to know. Based off this, he knows that the 3-wire sensor, which is a 5-volt ref.
I'm not gonna be that guy, but he has horrible ass handwriting, chat. Okay, my shit's not any better. I don't have any paper to show, but brother,
a ground, and then the signal. And the signal is going to go to those. These right here, this low side ignition 8, low side injector 6. So those we're going to use for increase and decrease solenoids, which are the 2 solenoids that are on the distribution box. This is just my little schematic that I sent them. Down here, what I have is the digital inputs that I'm going to use for turbo speed sensors. We haven't got there, but we will get there. So the next thing we're going to talk about and describe of what we're adding to this car is called a turbo shaft speed sensor. Exactly what it sounds like. The sensor that reads the speed of the shaft. Compressor side. As you guys know, the turbo's got 2 wheels, compressor and turbine. But today we're gonna talk about the compressor. So this sensor, they're gonna drill actually, it's got it in there. So I'm gonna take this plug out, I'm gonna order the sensor, and the sensor's literally gonna screw all the way down in there. It's gonna come literally 4 to 5 thousandths of way from the actual compressor wheel, which is that nice shiny thing. And what it's gonna do is gonna measure the speed of the wheel. And we're gonna implement sensors on both turbos. Now, the point of this sensor is we want to see what the turbo shaft speed sensor is because every compressor wheel has a max RPM. Just like an engine's got a max RPM, an engine's an air pump, and every engine, depending on the bore and the strokes, got a max RPM. Same thing with the turbo. Aerodynamic and the size of the compressor wheel is gonna have a limit. If we overspin the turbo, you ever see videos of turbos just flying out?
No, I wanted to see that turbo fly, man. It's crazy. Have y'all ever seen that shit for real though? Man, that's crazy. It gets crazy as shit. Look. Boom.
That's the kind of shit that happens.
All over the place.
Upwards of, can spin them 120,000 RPM. But happy spot on that turbo is probably 105,000 to hold me to it. Everyone, let's welcome my friend Marco. You guys know Marco. We always talk about Marco. I've talked about Marco all the time. You've seen in the videos. No, he's sitting there pouting. My friend is sitting there pouting because his $300,000 car that he wrapped, that we both agreed on the color. I showed him the sample. He walked through the door. He didn't like it. So you know what he did? He came and he ripped half of it off. Now in the process of ripping half of it off, he pulled some clear coat out. And guess whose fault it is? My fault. Because everything's my fault when he's mad. Everything's my fault. So he's sitting there pouting because he's so pissed and pouting. He's thinking about going to West Coast Exotic Cars and buying another exotic because his current one is not wrapped properly. This is the kind of shit my friends fucking get mad about, and I have to hear about it. I mean, it is a real problem. It's just your problems. Other people have different problems, those are your problems. Everything's got a solution other than
death
and taxes.
Yes. That is a description of a turbo shaft speed sensor that we're implemented. Now for the last sensor that we're going to talk about. We're going to also implement what's called the back pressure sensor. Now that sensor essentially is going to read the pressure of the exhaust side, like we have inlet manifold sensors that read the pressure of the inlet side. So how an intake manifold pressure sensor works, the compressor air, the turbo comes out the turbo, and there's a sensor that'll read the pressure of in here. It'll read vacuum and pressure, and depending on the pressure, that's how much fuel we apply and how we control the engine. Now you're wondering, well, why do you need to measure the hot side? Well, exhaust pressure tells us when the exhaust side is not flowing enough. Essentially, you want back pressure to be 1-to-1. Now what that means is if you have 40 pounds of boost in the inlet side, you want no more than 40 pounds of pressure on the EMAP side, exhaust manifold pressure side. If it becomes higher, then you need to figure out how to lower that. The back housing may be too small, which is the turbine. We need to open that up, or the camshaft design may need to be improved. But all the data is what we want to be able to know that we keep this engine as efficient as possible. When the back pressure goes above 1:1, the efficiency is going to drop under 100%, and the engine's not as efficient, and that's when things break and happen. That is what we're doing. That is what the next steps of this car are going to be. So in this video, it's essentially talking about and showing you guys in detail of how the items work, of what we're adding to the car and implementing the car and talking about the car. In the next video, which will be in a couple days, Alexi will have all of it pretty much done and installed, and then we'll show you guys how it works, show you the outcome and the car on the dyno, setting up the CO2 and nitrous.
I thought that was all in this video.
The car did have nitrous last time. We wired it. It's all plumbed, but we've never hit it. So guess what we're doing? Whacking the whacker, baby. Oh yeah. So we're whacking the whacker on the dyno, and we're down in the CO2. That is the details to our modern day Toretto, aka Shizzy. Alexi, do you have any words of wisdom?
No. We'll show them the final product.
That's right. So I described everything in detail over what Alexi's about to do in the next 48 hours, and I'm gonna sit here and watch him. Do you need me to help you cut anything?
No, I'm okay right now. Yeah, I know you'll do a good job.
I am great at Anyways, look at this thing. Back to my SVJ vlog. This is a 5.2 liter. This is the modern small block. This is what you call the baddest air pump ever made, other than the Coyote. That's right, your boy's a Coyote fan. I'm thinking about changing the name to Coyote Race. This guy's got something to prove over his fucking paint peeling in the corner. I'm gonna take it tomorrow to fucking fix it, alright? See what I gotta do? That's what you call rich man problems. The food don't even work. Look at him, it's Monday and he's at my shop. You know? I think that is enough for this vlog. Now I know it's all talk, but one thing I am going to focus on all these videos is I want to become more of a not educational, informative page. Not only do we show you us going fast, building cool shit, I want to inform you. My objective is to teach you at least one thing a week. Deal? And if I can teach you one thing a week, I did my job. Being informative is great. I always go back to this. I am a proud father of 3 children, and my number.
All right, chat, we're gonna cut it here because he's just gonna talk for the next 30-40 seconds. Let me know in the comments if he taught you something, because he definitely taught me something. I definitely did not know anything about any of that. I'm not a big Lambo guy, so that was actually pretty helpful. Some useful information that you can always transfer over, not just in the Lambo. But bro, hold on. We gotta look at this. The back of this Audi. Oh my god! Look at the exhaust hole is crazy, bro. The vent. Mint. Oh my god, no tire though. Low traction. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know how your day is. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day.